Hey, what's up, YouTubers, man? It's John Triller from the Trenches TV, man. We got another little situation. Um, on this episode right here, and on this video today, is about this mashed potatoes good. It's about kids, trying to attack they parents' killer. You know what I'm saying? While in court. So it's a different it's a I don't know how to say the word contemplation of different kids and adults trying to attack their parents' killers. So I'm about to get straight into it. I ain't gonna do too much talk. It's gonna be, what I'm saying, self-explanatory. But let's get into it. Oh yeah, you ain't gonna catch HIV or AIDS from liking, subscribing, and commenting on my video. So please do me a favor. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, shout out to courtroom consequences.
This is 62-year-old Dale Williams, who was facing murder charges in Youngstown, Ohio. In June 2017, Williams ran his ex-girlfriend, Elizabeth Pledger Stewart's car off the road and caused it to crash. Williams then shot and killed the 46-year-old mother of two. After his arrest, Williams pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and weapons charges. Facing the possibility of life in prison, Williams appeared at his sentencing, but the victim's two sons decided to deliver some justice of their own.
File your taxes 100% free in the app if you didn't use us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do It Yourself.
Dang, crushing.
30-year-old Anthony Dees jumped across the table, evaded deputies, and dragged Williams down by his feet. Then, 23-year-old Jerome Stewart ran over to help his brother, and the two delivered a barrage of punches and kicks to the defendant. As deputies struggled to contain the brothers, one officer pulled out a taser and shot Stewart.
Mm.
Williams was then escorted from the courtroom as he wiped the blood off his face.
Damn, man. Man, I swear, bro. Like that's why, man. Look, you know what I'm saying. My mother been through some stuff in life, you know what I'm saying. Like, but I ain't about to sit up there like the shit get heated. You know what I'm saying. Like my mother went through domestic violence and stuff like that. Like, bro, I ain't like that shit, bro. I was ready to get busy, but the dude was a rat. He always called the cops. So, damn, dropping stuff on the floor. Hold on, let me get back to it.
Finally, the two aggrieved sons were taken into custody. They faced charges of assault, contempt of court, and obstruction of justice. As for Williams, he was later sentenced to 23 years to life in prison for murdering his ex-girlfriend, while Dale Williams was viciously assaulted by the sons of the woman he killed. What happens when a defendant gets attacked by his own son?
Mm.
Like in the case of Vashon Flowers, who was on trial for murder in Muskegon County, Michigan. In May 2019, Flowers allegedly shot and killed his wife, Jamie,
What?
in Muskegon Heights home after the two had an argument over cigarettes. Initially, the couple fought for more than a day, after which police arrived and separated the two. Flowers left, But hours later, he returned, kicked in the door, and shot Jamie 4 times. The 46-year-old then turned himself in and was charged with open murder. Jamie's daughter, Paris, witnessed the whole incident, testified in court.
Got down on the ground, started choking my mother. Actually, I heard, "You don't have to do this, Fayshawn. Please don't do this. You don't have to do this." And then I heard gunshots.
Mm.
4. I got up and I left out of the room. She was sitting straight up against the wall. You took some blood? Yes, on her shirt. Gunshots, bullet holes in her shirt, and blood.
Huh.
But it was Jamie's son who decided to take matters into his own hands.
Dang. He ain't even get him, though.
During a hearing, 21-year-old London Jones was seated in the gallery with the rest of his siblings. But suddenly, he leaped over the barricade and headed straight towards his mother's killer. Alert deputies were able to tackle him just in the nick of time.
They should make some type of rule. A person that they saying that kill them people family or kill somebody's family, they should be able to, somebody should be able to like beat them up. That'd be cool.
Eventually, the grieving son was restrained and removed from the courtroom. Ultimately, Flowers was convicted of Jamie's murder and sentenced to life in prison, while Vashon Flowers faced his son's fury. What happens when a victim's son attacks his mother's killer? We head to Springfield, Massachusetts, where a hearing is underway for accused serial killer Alfred Gaynor. According to reports, Gaynor terrorized the city of Springfield. He assaulted and brutally murdered 9 women from 1995 to
Damn.
1998. Gaynor was finally arrested after his DNA matched with evidence from the crime scenes. Now at a hearing, sitting in the gallery was one of Gaynor's victim's sons, Eric Downs. 3 deputies surrounded Gaynor, but it wouldn't be enough for what was to follow.
Mr. Gaynor's being held in extreme conditions of confinement. He's being held without right to bail.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Damn. Slim just fell on his head.
Without warning, Downs jumped over the barricade and launched into the defendant. Gaynor's sister tried to hold back Downs, but not before the grieving son delivered one final blow. A deputy led Gaynor to safety, while other officers attempted to restore order. Downs was later charged with assault and contempt of court. As for Gaynor, he eventually pleaded guilty to all the murders and was sentenced to 8 consecutive life terms.
Damn.
If one brother can cause so much damage in court, then how does it compare to 2 brothers attacking a defendant? Like in the case of 24-year-old Jason Howard, who's facing multiple murder charges in Warren, Ohio. In 2006, Howard was arrested after he allegedly shot and killed his ex-girlfriend, 27-year-old Jamila West, at her home in Columbus before shooting and suffocating her 3 children to death.
What?
Now, at a pretrial hearing, things are about to go out of control.
He just like, oh, he's crushing him.
Without warning, the victim's brother, 30-year-old Lewis West, attacked Howard and delivered blow after blow on the shackled defendant. Sergeant Phil Eckenrode was the only one standing between his prisoner and the distraught brother.
It was my job to try to protect my prisoner to the best of my ability.
Yo, prisoner.
Sergeant Eckenrode's hands already full.
Right.
Another citizen, 29-year-old Sultan Honzu, dived through the doorway and started hammering Howard.
Damn. Damn, they came in that junk deep.
The situation was threatening to go out of hand. Thankfully, Sergeant Eckenrode gained control of the courtroom, and the brothers were arrested. They were later charged with assault. Howard was not seriously injured, barring a few scratches. His murder charges were later dropped based on the lack of evidence.
Oh,
All two brothers delivered their own version of courtroom justice. What happens when a distraught teenager lunges at the defendant? Like in the case of James Douglas Gonzalez, who was on trial for murder in Mobile, Alabama. Back in 1992, Gonzalez arrived at a party where he reportedly shot and killed 18-year-old Matthew Hall after the two got into an altercation. Gonzalez later claimed he shot Matthew in self-defense. During trial, the victim's father, Matthew Hall Sr., and younger brother, Kevin, waited anxiously in the gallery for the jury to return with their verdict. Eventually, the jury returned and found Gonzalez guilty of a lesser misdemeanor charge of criminally negligent homicides. Feeling robbed of justice, Kevin Hall decided to take matters into his own hands.
they ain't even really do nothing though.
Kevin jumped from his seat, leaped over a barricade, and charged at the defendant, landing a punch to his face. His father, Hall Sr., soon joined the melee. It took several officers and onlookers to subdue the two. Spectators were left shaken. Gonzalez's mother and grandmother broke down. After the attack, the Halls were charged with contempt of court and sentenced to 5 days in jail. As for Gonzalez, he got just 1 year in prison for the murder of Matthew Hall.
What?
While Kevin Hall decided to deliver some brotherly justice. What happens when a defendant gets shot in the courtroom?
Oh,
We had
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Ford.
man, that's in Brazil, but man, hey, young Brazil and any foreign country, that's man, they situations, man, they be jive different out there, Slim.
De Belmonte, Brazil, for the murder trial of 38-year-old Francisco Cledivaldo Mariano de Mora. According to reports, in 2012, de Mora shot Francisco Alves at his home in Lagoa Alexandre after the two got into an argument over a donkey. Now, a jury session was underway with the victim's 27-year-old son, Cristiano Alves Terto, sitting at the back, while the defendant sat in front of the courtroom. As Terto stood up, he was about to put his sinister plan into motion.
They walked in with a revolver. Damn! Oh, he hit him with the jump. Hey, y'all seen that jump? He pistol whipped him on his head. Damn. Oh, he trying to hit him again with the jump. Damn. Hey, run that back.
Initially, a woman tried to stop Terto. The distraught son pulled out a .38 caliber revolver and fired 2 shots directly toward de Mora, just a few feet away from a juror and an attorney. The rest of the courtroom descended into chaos as the vengeful Terto
Oh, he hit him with that jump.
shots at the defendant in point-blank range.
Damn.
Mora ran for his life, desperately trying to seek cover from the hail of bullets. After emptying his 6-shooter, Terto furiously bashed de Mora with the butt of his gun. The gun-wielding son then fled the courtroom.
He dead.
Arrested the following day and charged with attempted murder.
Oh, he survived.
Miraculously, de Mora managed to stand up behind the judge's desk before slumping to the ground. He was rushed to a local hospital and made a full recovery.
Damn.
The grieving son almost managed to kill his father's murderer. What happens when a defendant gets chased by the victim's family?
Damn. Oh.
Like in the case of Paul Wade, who's at the Jefferson County Justice Center in Louisville, Kentucky for an arraignment.
Yes.
Knows taxes can be
Crazy.
confusing. So we've got experts, live human experts.
3 weeks earlier, police found the bodies of 26-year-old Edward Smith and 24-year-old Alexis McCrary shot dead in the Russell neighborhood. After going through surveillance footage from the area, they arrested 31-year-old Paul Wade. Wade, who was already out on probation, was charged with 2 counts of murder and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. Now in court, Wade's hearing was presided over by Judge Ann Haney. She had an 8th grader shadowing her who wanted to be a judge one day. Sitting in the gallery were the 2 victims' family members, who immediately got off on the wrong foot with the court deputy.
Mr. Eggert is application. Okay, hold on. Ma'am, you're gonna have to leave the courtroom. I'm leaving. With our family. Okay, got the hall. No talking in the courtroom. Yes, that's all. Go ahead.
After a short disruption, the hearing went underway.
Hold on, I've got someone who doesn't have a lawyer. Yes.
Since Wade's attorney was not present, Judge Haney rescheduled for a later date.
Do you want an opportunity to hire Mr. Eggers?
Yes, ma'am.
You do. You think it's realistic that will happen?
Yes,
ma'am. Then I will give you to November 1st.
As Wade was being removed from the courtroom, he uttered an expletive towards those sitting in the gallery.
Open.
Suddenly, chaos erupted.
They going in. Damn, they all chased them.
This triggered a chain of events where several family members hopped over the railing and went after the defendant. 4 of them chased Wade through an open door right behind the judge's bench as Judge Haney and the terrified 8th grader watched helplessly.
She said, help, help. Oh, shut the fuck up.
The judge then hit the panic button and yelled for help. More deputies arrived and used pepper spray to defuse the situation. Even Judge Haney had to step down from the bench to help. In the end, 4 people were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct and obstructing governmental
They
operations.
about to get out.
2 of them faced additional charges of assault and resisting arrest. While Paul Wade's court hearing totally went out of control, how does it compare to getting punched by the victim's brother?
What? Damn, crushed him.
Like in the case of 33-year-old Jeffrey Clark, who's facing first-degree premeditated murder charges in Fraser, Michigan. On July 4th, 2022, Clark shot and killed 28-year-old Jeray Robertson in execution style,
Whoa.
facing him down an apartment complex parking lot.
This was an execution.
What?
This wasn't a murder, an execution.
Oh,
He was pleading for his life.
The doorbell camera captured the moment Robertson was shot.
As the victim runs for his life, he's now in the city of Fraser.
Clark was arrested after an ankle monitor he was wearing placed him at the crime scene.
Time. Tether his ankle. We do have the tether reference to that location at that time.
His trial, Clark's girlfriend testified that the defendant threatened her after the shooting.
He proceeded to tell me that he would kill me if I told on him. He told me exactly what he did to Mr. Robertson. He told me that Mr. Robertson begged his life and that the only thing he was worried about was that he was on tether.
But when the prosecution played a video showing the judge and family members how Robertson was executed, the courtroom exploded.
man, they gonna see you.
Sitting in the gallery watching his brother beg for his life was Robertson's twin, Jerry, who got into a brawl with the defendant. Jerry also clashed with Clark's father, who was upset his killer son got punched. After order was restored, Clark was convicted of first-degree murder, felony firearm, and felon in possession of a firearm. He was sentenced to life in prison with no hope.
Damn.
While Jeffrey Clark was attacked by his victim's twin brother, what happens when a victim's brother charges at the defendant? Like in the case of Tristan Lamoureux, who is facing murder charges in Cedar City, Utah. In 2009, Lamoureux reportedly shot his wife, 19-year-old Misty, several times in the head, instantly killing her. When police arrived, they found Misty's body in the bathroom and arrested Lamoureux after he tried to flee the scene. Instead of going to trial, the 24-year-old pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. Now at his sentencing, Misty's brother Jason Wilson was called to the podium to deliver his victim impact statement. The situation became more and more tense as Wilson spoke about the impact his sister's murder had on his family. An emotional Wilson then turned his attention towards the defendant, even making a step towards him. The court bailiffs cautiously stepped in after sensing Wilson becoming increasingly overcome with emotion, but the grieving brother had other ideas.
He ain't even get him.
As the bailiffs approached him, Wilson ran behind the attorney's table and tried to take a swing at Lamoureux. But before he could reach the defendant, the bailiff sprang into action and tackled both Wilson and Lamoureux to the ground. Wilson was restrained and removed from the courtroom. He faced no additional charges. After the dust settled, the courtroom was put back in order and the sentencing continued. Eventually, Lamoureux was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison for his wife. While Tristan Lamoureux felt a grieving brother's fury, what happens when a victim's daughter can't control her emotions in court? Like in the case of 25-year-old Tevin Merriweather, who was facing murder charges in DeKalb County, Georgia. Police said that in June 2019, Merriweather got into an argument with 34-year-old Myron Pierce at a gas station off Glenwood Avenue. The fight escalated into a physical altercation, with Merriweather ending up shooting Pierce several times, instantly killing the beloved father. Now, at a bond hearing, Pierce's 15-year-old daughter, Tashia Campbell, was sitting in the gallery as the defense attorney argued on behalf of his client. This is when the distraught daughter lost it.
A daughter couldn't take it.
You see, their deputies had to remove her from the courtroom. Channel 2 station for
Overwhelmed with grief, Campbell lashed out at Merriweather before charging towards the defendant. Thankfully, deputies grabbed Campbell in the nick of time and removed her from the courtroom. After order was restored, the judge denied bond and sent Merriweather back to prison.
Damn. Man, hey, man, I hope y'all... What is this?
This was me struggling to keep up with.
Hey, man, I hope that y'all enjoyed that, you know what I'm saying, and got something from that, you know what I'm saying, because I know it's a lot going on, and I know it's a lot of families going to court right now, and things like that. Man, it hurts, you know what I'm saying, I know it hurts. When my cousin got killed, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even go to like none of his court hearings or anything like that. It got to do with, you know what I'm saying, like the sentencing, so I, to look at the dude that did it and all that, I just pray, you know what I'm saying? Like, what goes around comes around, you feel me? If somebody might get him while he in prison, you feel me? So, that's how I look at it. But I don't wish, like I say, I always say, I don't wish, you know what I'm saying, no jail or prison on nobody. I'd rather them be free because, you know what I'm saying, somebody definitely gonna catch him, you know what I'm saying? Somebody definitely will catch him, because he gonna mess with the wrong person and they're gonna do the same thing to him that what he probably did to somebody else. But you know, it'd be a lot of reckless stuff going on out here. But that's all I'm gonna say. Catch y'all next time. It's John Triller, from the Trenches TV. You ain't gonna catch HIV or AIDS from liking, commenting, and subscribing on my video. It helps the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? It helps the algorithm on my channel. And if you're an upcoming creator and you engage with my channel and you're watching my videos, it's gonna help with your algorithm. You know what I'm saying? But all right, peace.